at the cracks in the pavement. She traced them with her eyes, a silent rebellion against Ryan's booming laughter. His words, always a torrent, washed over her. Jenna felt suffocated, trapped. She yearned for air, for space, for silence.
Jenna, you're not even listening.
I am.
She mumbled, forcing a smile. His eyes, sharp and possessive, lingered on her face. Jenna looked away, her heart pounding a frantic rhythm against her ribs.
We'll stay in tonight, yeah?
Ryan's hand rested on her arm, his grip firm. Jenna knew better than to argue.
Okay.
She whispered, her voice barely audible. Inside, a storm raged. A desperate longing for freedom clawed at her. Later, while Ryan slept, Jenna saw her chance. His phone lay on the coffee table, a beacon in the dim light. She snatched it, her fingers trembling. Quickly, silently, she ordered an Uber. The wait was agonizing, each tick of the clock a hammer blow to her nerves. Finally, a notification, "Your driver is here." Relief, sweet and intoxicating, flooded her. Jenna scribbled a note, her hand shaking, and left it on the counter. She didn't look back. The cool night air hit her face like a balm as she slipped into the waiting car. The Uber driver, a middle-aged man with kind eyes, glanced at her in the rearview mirror.
Where to?
He asked, his voice a welcome contrast to Ryan's gruff tone. Jenna gave him the address, her voice trembling slightly. She sank back into the seat, the leather cool against her skin. For the first time in months, she felt a flicker of hope. Maybe, just maybe, she could escape. The city lights blurred past the window, a kaleidoscope of colors. Jenna closed her eyes, willing herself to relax. But the knot of anxiety in her stomach refused to loosen its grip. Jenna's eyes snapped open as the car slowed. They were in a deserted industrial area, streetlights casting long, eerie shadows. Confusion furrowed her brow.
Where are we?
She asked, her voice edged with concern. The driver didn't answer. He continued down the deserted street, his silence amplifying the sudden fear that gripped Jenna's throat. She cleared her throat, her voice trembling.
I think you've taken a wrong turn.
She said, trying to keep her voice even. He remained silent, his eyes fixed on the road ahead. Jenna's hand went to the door handle, her heart pounding against her ribs. This wasn't right. This wasn't the way. The driver pulled to a stop in front of a dilapidated warehouse. The building loomed over them, dark and menacing. Jenna's breath caught in her throat. She fumbled for her phone, her fingers slick with sweat.
What is this?
She asked, her voice barely a whisper. The driver turned to face her, a slow, chilling smile spreading across his face. The kind eyes she had seen earlier were gone, replaced by something cold and calculating. Fear, icy and paralyzing, coursed through her veins. Jenna's hand trembled as she clutched her phone, her only lifeline to the outside world. She had escaped one nightmare, only to stumble into another. The driver reached into his jacket, his movements slow and deliberate. Jenna's eyes widened in terror as he pulled out a roll of duct tape. Her heart hammered against her chest, a frantic drumbeat of fear.
Don't worry, this won't hurt a bit.
Jenna's mind raced, desperate for an escape. But there was nowhere to go, nowhere to hide. She was trapped. As the driver reached for her, a single, horrifying thought echoed through her mind. Ryan had sent him.